Welcome back, my delinquents. Filian admits to the stealing allegations? Well, sort of. So we're going in today with the update on the Filian situation. I will be going over the posts. Though one of the highlights is Filian sort of kind of admitting to what they did, but not really taking much of responsibility, just them kind of updating the situation, which they made the statement on Twitch and not on Twitter or anywhere else. It seemed to be a very brief statement. As per usual with these kind of updates, I'm going to try and take you through from what happened first to what happened last as well as I can, and giving a bit of my opinion mixed in there. But seeing this is complicated, let's just get into it. And seeing everyone had a lot of questions from the last video about different things from the last video, I will try and address some of them for you guys, but let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting off first here with some reply to the Gold Smile Company or Jingo's first post, marking their confusion about the situation, which is kind of where we left it in the previous video. So this started out a complete avalanche of information coming about Filian, because some people were claiming that Filian may be ignorant to it being classed as stealing. This was one of the first videos. There's a second one on the other panel that I will show you after this, them talking about the stealing the videos, and they even use the word illegal here, so we'll go into that, but also into other merchandise that they have published, but also that almost every single model they've used so far is by a similar creator like Jingo, and they have published merchandise for it too, so they will have to go through and see if the other artists are fine too. The situation that Filian comments on is just the one artist, so we don't actually know if they have contacted all the other artists. But let's get into this first video.
Started face tracking with it. So what I did was, I went and ripped the model from VRChat illegally. I uploaded it into some software.
And some people point out in comments here that if you don't play VRChat, you may not know what ripped is. Ripped is when you use a program to just take the model programs or code out of the game and you rip it without permission. You can do this with other games too. This is usually how they get models out of the game to edit. It's a common way for it. It is generally very frowned upon on VRChat because it's fan run. So if you don't have model makers making models, there is no models, and ripping it is seen as really disrespectful for the artist. So that is kind of what it is. It's like stealing levels from Roblox and stuff like that, which is also very similarly frowned upon. Let's continue.
Software that I downloaded off the internet, which is the same software I'm still using today. Because I saw this girl DM video. She recommended this software called Luppet. I said, okay, that'll work. So then I did that. I started face tracking with it. So what I did was...
So this is the only kind of people on this entire game, which has thousands upon probably hundreds of thousands of users, are very edgelord crashers or hackers and stuff like that, tend to have this opinion. It is a very unpopular opinion, and it's an edgelord opinion. Filian being an edgelord, who would have guessed? But it is not seen as a normal thing to do, and it's seen as stealing, and that's why they use the word illegally. Which also points out to the fact that Filian didn't actually even purchase the streaming rights to this model, which is only $40 to $70. I think it's like 45 USD, someone saying in the conversion. When I bought it was like dollar for dollar. But when I bought mine years ago. But now the yen is worthless. But that shows absolutely that Filian didn't even spend any money on this. And we can't confirm if they didn't spend any money on all the other models too, which we're going to go into here. So this is going into some of the things they've used to merchandise. These are not Japanese companies. So this is why it didn't come to the attention of the Japanese creators, or a lot of them, because these aren't sold in Japan. Energy drinks, same with the waifu cups, ex-Filian with GG Energy. These kind of drinks aren't popular in Japan, so it wouldn't come to their attention automatically. Filian is very popular in the West, but not so as much in Japan because they don't speak Japanese. But it even mentioned here that Filian's model is created by Jingo, so I don't know if they updated this. I'm not really sure here if they've just updated it to now so they don't get in trouble, because yeah, if they don't play nice, they could have it taken down. But we're going to go into the next models, because this is the problem when after the fact is, what order did this happen in? What order? People point out here that plushes have come out of this model. This is the Filian plush of the smaller model, but their model is just an edited version of Mint. As you can see, there's very little different except for the overalls, which someone also points out the overalls is also made by someone on Booth. So it has similar rules. So all they did was change really the outfit and made the eyes purple and their colors purple. So that is another one that I think the creator of Mint has came up and talked about a bit, that they were not contacted either. This is a post by Filian. Hi, this is Filian Manager. If you want to make merch of her If I can just go for it, my manager is me. Pretty much Filian giving away merch rights when they don't have merch rights, which is putting a lot of people in a very weird position, honestly. But this seems to be a big list of multiple things here. This is something, I don't know if everyone's aware of that Filian did an editing thing. This is one of the things people were talking about with accusations again here. I'm only going to touch upon these very slowly, same with AI. That they offer $20 per 100k views of them or something, and it was supposed to be seen as helping the clipping scenario because clippers don't make as much money as they used to, so there's less clippers than before. But people point out $200 per 1,000,000 views is a bit crazy, but I don't know enough about into this to go into it. It's just one of the things people bring up. I don't think it really connects to this situation, other than a lot of people bringing up a lot of things that Filian has done in the past. Moving on to the next one, we're going to watch this part here, which is a video about them just talking about the model again.
That I paid $0 for and I'm using for free.
This is a meme they go into it about how short it is to make the changes that they made. Yes, it's incredibly short because all the things that Filian changed are actually inbuilt in the model that you just had to toggle on and off pretty much. But this is just another instance of their admitting that they got it for free, they don't own it, and they didn't pay for it, which is the biggest problem here. They didn't even pay for streamer rights, which means that they don't even have a right to stream with it. There's no paper trail, there's no nothing. They don't really have a leg to stand on here. And this is the point. After all that stuff came out, this is the point where Good Company, I think Good Smile, have I been calling them Good Company instead of Good Smile? Oh my god. Good Smile takes down the post. And not long after, Filian then takes down their post, I'm pretty sure. But it was quite funny for a long time where it's like, uh-oh, and the post has just been deleted with the community notes. That was quite funny, I'm not going to lie. But yes, this is in the timeline of happening. They didn't take anything down, they didn't make any responses until all those videos are plastered everywhere. So it's very likely Filian was going to ignore it. And then that brings us on to Jingo's statement after all this has happened, which comes out first before Filian's statement, but I'm going to quickly touch upon the AI because people are talking so much about AI. Filian has an AI tag to sort it, air quotes, sort it out. That is one thing different. The only thing I can really find of Filian using AI themselves is for their Filian AI, which is the Fansly account. So it's like a lewd chat bot, which where you talk directly to your creator. There is some controversy about it being parasocial, next to being very expensive, but these AI bots also generate AI art to go with these conversations or to be put publicly, and that's the main thing I see I can connect with her that she uses AI for. It is a lot harder than, I think I remember when someone showed this to me weeks and weeks ago when they were talking about Amaranth AI, because she has one too. They make a lot of money. But Filian AI can only be found through Filian's other Fansly, which is a lewd fansy kinda or behind the scene Fansly, compared to it being on the link thing. So I think it's been like hidden a bit more. But as you can see, these are not cheap to gain access to this AI work and this AI art. I feel like this is a controversy in itself, but Filian does use AI in this sense. I don't know if they use AI art on other things. I can't say. This is the only instance I can find. I'm just reporting on it because people are arguing about AI art in the comments. If I wanted to give my opinion on AI, it would take a week, so I'm not going to go into it in this video. That's where I got Good Company, Good Smile Company. I wasn't just crazy. But this goes into Jingo's update on the situation. And this is the first instance we get a proper update of information. This is just before Filian's. So we're going to read over it. Hello. I'm Jingo. Please understand that I only returned to Japan early this morning and I'm late. I've received replies from both the Vtuber and Good Smile Company and we plan to proceed in a way that protects my rights to the greatest extent possible. My position is that I would like to see smooth negotiations through communication. The models I create are products that anyone can use by purchasing them on Booth. Purchasing them, underline there. Underlining that he does want to work this out. Which a lot of people expected, that Jingo's usually been quite lenient in the past, that he would want to work this out. The avatar was primarily created to be used in VR chat, but the terms of use allow the avatar to be used outside of VR chat as long as it cannot be used by third parties other than the purchaser. We also allow individual VTuber activities. I mentioned in the previous video, Jingo is very lenient on that. Even as someone who doesn't speak Japanese, I'm mostly aware of this because he retweets a lot of fan uses. However, just because you purchase a model on Booth does not mean that you own all the rights, and since you are ultimately renting the model, we ask that you credit us if you generate revenue through general VTuber activities such as videos or streaming. So some people pointed out I should have it credited, and yeah, it's getting redone. I have not touched my panels in a while, but I'm getting there. Slowly. I'm a one-man team, but we're getting there slowly. But that is generally how you do it. Getting to sort of terms of use state that for any activities with a large commercial potential, such as product of character products beyond typical VTuber activities, such as video and streaming, advance notice is required and guidance regarding credit notification is provided after review. But yeah, they are open to a dialogue on how it can be used, which is very nice of them. Usually they are not the large in scale. In many cases, the VTuber personally handles the production and sales without going through a company, so selling the type of character merchandise is not really an issue. Exactly, this is a very common case. A lot of people do indie releases, very small ones. I myself will be the same. And a lot of just like big companies with fan art or fan works or using it in such a small way, a lot of creators don't bother with it because it's not a big deal and it's like free advertisement in a way, and they really love the work of their creation. But that's for small releases because someone is not profiting highly off their work. However, if there are individuals who have agencies or companies or corporations that use the images, we'll provide them with detailed information and advance notice, even if the use is not for commercial purposes. So pretty much what they're saying, if they're represented by a big company or like a big group or a talent agency, they will just deal with the situation differently than they would an indie creator. Some people may argue with this. Filian isn't quite an indie. They are run by Mythic Talent. They have a management team. They're not quite in the indie sphere or in the small creator sphere. Definitely not in the small creator sphere. The part I took issue with was that even though VTubers do not own the copyright to the character, they proceed with the project through a contract with a company without notifying the original character's creator. Yes, because a lot of these contracts may assume that the other person owns it or are asking for rights themselves, which Filian does not own. And it's giving away something them themselves would not, and it's crossing a line. Yeah, and that the biggest problem here is that they weren't notified either. Therefore, we have requested that all production schedules for this character merchandising projects be suspended. I didn't need any royalties or incentives. I just want to protect the copyright of the character. If I were to allow this, such as through the sale of copyright licenses, then any characters derived from my models would have their own copyright, which would result in people who use the same models as their base becoming embroiled in complicated copyright disputes. I want people to know that my booth characters are not models for just one person, but models for all groups, as long as it is not a completely original design. No matter how many revisions I make, traces of the original author remain, and I cannot give up the copyright. Terms of use vary depending on the creator and model, so please be sure to check them before using a model. Look forward to working with you. This is a very good point, and I would say kudos to Jingo on this, that they could have sued for a big payout here, but they respect the copyright and they want it. How they are selling it and how it is distributed between people with the copyright being for personal use with some streamer use is exactly how they want it, and they don't want that changed for any amount of money because it would literally screw over maybe hundreds and hundreds of people. And technically Jingo owns it and they have the right to sell it, but they prioritize the community around these models. And I think that really shows that the problem here wasn't greed or fame hungry. It was literally about respect. Respect towards your artist and respect towards the creator. And I think they really took a very high road here and stating what they wanted, even if the companies don't like what they're saying there. And I think Filian has to respect that, and so does the companies, that they don't have a right to get the commercial, and hopefully they can still work something out. We're going to leave Jingo's behind there. I think they made a very good statement about this, but we're going to go to Filian's statement, and this is the only thing they say about it, so we're going on Jingo's world here. This is the only thing they've said, as far as I'm aware, up to this point on the subject, and it's very brief. It's under 30 seconds, and they don't post anything else about it, so let's get into it.
All right, sick. Okay, so real quick, chat. What to say real quick? So, I've been talking to the artist behind the scenes. I don't know if you guys saw her tweet yesterday, but we're gonna get on proceeding in a way that protects her rights and it's compliant with the EUA, the EUA. So, I'll let you know when there's an update. But with that being said, chat, are you guys ready to go? You can hear an echo? That's right. We have a.
So this is a mixed bag here. They come out and say it is being dealt with and stuff, but they don't really apologize or say anything or admit any wrongdoing. They just kind of gloss over it, which has rubbed people the wrong way, as you can imagine. I don't know if they're going to make an official statement on this. It would have been nice for them to admit that they like what went wrong here, or like that this was out of their scope, wasn't taking things seriously and they probably should have, but it's kind of just glossed over. So I don't know if this will make people less angry, but at the very least it's a confirmation of what Jingo said is true, but most people would have believed him. Yeah. I don't really know what to say about this other than it's not taking it very seriously. Don't think just pushing it to the side is giving a good vibe. That makes sense. Mainly because with VTubers and creators, if you don't have artists, you don't have anything. There is no one to make your models. There is no one to steal from. So I do think it's not going to make it easier to take commissions from you in the future, but who knows if Filian's actually have commissioned an artist, because most of the assets they use are free, or they make them free by taking them, it seems. So, not to get, like, sassy on that one, but yeah, it would have been nice if they would have said sorry to Jingo, I guess, or said they should have known better, anything like that, I guess. I'm not asking for them to beg for mercy or something, but I think it would have been good if they would have discussed it. It's not sending the right message here, I would say, but to be fair, it's not the end of the road. Maybe they will make a more professional statement later. This is just a clip from the video, but a lot of people do point out that Filian doesn't usually apologize or talk about what they do. They just kind of keep trucking. They just keep trucking, guys. But thank you for going through with this. Hopefully I hit upon most of these so you can see how many models they've taken, which at the moment I think it's at 3 or 4 models they have taken illegally. And at least that it seems to be resolving, and some of the statements. And I hope it was mostly in order. But sorry guys, it's late. But thanks for staying in there with me, and I'll catch you next time, my delinquents. You got this, bestie.